Hey guys, I don't know if this is going to make anybody feel better, but I just want to kind of share my life. Well, life is pretty good, and I just want you to hear me talk and to this is like my real self, my articulate self. Like you can say it's like a public meeting per se. So I'm in Naples, Florida, and life is good. I did a checkbox of goals. I look back and I accomplished all of them. What I'm focusing right now is my transition and introduction 5 to 10 years into the future. So what does this mean? Like I look at practical statements of like you're surviving without the military or you're very clean or you're cleaner. So I focused on my spread. You're cleaner, right? People will have more empathy that you didn't necessarily rely on the military to be successful. It's just self-made. So because I have this like spread, I'm just looking at like, do I want to have a codependent relationship with a partnership, or do I want to have a more independent and be like more of an alpha spreading? If you're a content creator, it doesn't necessarily matter. Like if you're content creating and you're spreading through space and time, like you can do a lot of research, post content. You could do a lot of fulfillment and vlog and document and inspire and share content. And then you can do like, entertainment, distract and create content. And I simplified it. If I, not necessarily niche, if I, you know, send out a distraction to the market, it will spread. It's something the future will see. So I simplified it to just make some, not goals per se, but realistic target marks so that the future can see that this is what you were doing. Another one is my brain is telling me you're looking at other mediums and other ways to kind of like make cash flow and everything. Maybe you should just focus on like the music and how many avenues you can create with this music reality that I have. Another bracket of what's going on is finance. This is like the MLB for me. When I originally started making music, I took it very seriously. I was a creator. I was a producer, a beat maker. I was songwriting, and I wanted to have a woman. I'm just gonna say there's a no. I'm not gonna bring it a woman, but I wanted to basically have the life that I've always wanted. So I basically say, you know what, I have a plan that I wanted. I want to release music it was originally every 6 months, release an album. And that was real time snaked by my community, which they're fixing right now. And I decided to just take it song by song and to look for a break. So I'm online and I'm looking at, SoundCloud. I'm looking at distribution, YouTube, obviously. Not really worried about the money part. I was always working about the hard work part, like just delivering your distraction to people. And I come across, TuneCore obviously, but then they didn't really do what I needed them to do. And it was like not a mean, I'm going elsewhere. It was just, I'm gonna probably miss out if I don't switch. Like it's math. Like you gotta sometimes switch to better things. So I find DistroKid, it's exactly what I was looking for. Now this was a little bit different in the way that it was kind of advertised to me. So it wasn't like TuneCore in the sense where it's a link and you have your album. This is more like a service where it's like a tool, right? If you have the product and you have the vision and you do all the work, this organizes it and delivers it on time to your target market. So it's like if I needed to get into LA or I needed to get into the future, this is what delivers it to that reality. So far, I've been very impressed with the deliver process of it into the future. Things that I need though, the thing I don't like is unanswered questions concerning stores and they're answering it like the indifference, like it's different, right? Or indifferent, or like for me, I scale my demographic in my own business model, like through my studios, like research. Just think anything scaling is research. Well, this distributed reality, it's like people want to go off the words of people. So in real time, like what are the obstacles you have to get over? Well, you can kind of scale the the song based off the product itself. Like I could always look at an airplane and say a lot of people will fit in it, therefore it's going to spread that this is a good product. So I scale it. Just quickly, like to what's going on right now. There's just an obstacle that I'm having, which is making me want to visit my school, emotion check of what's going on. Obviously, I don't have like a whole bunch of managers and people saying, how do you feeling? So one thing I have to tell myself is, how are you feeling, right? Well, I feel like I want to start over now that I've done so much work. So I love the fact that Wittenberg universities like Carnegie Mellon, if there is any ism or is stuff, but it doesn't mean that everyone's just going to get it in time. So because everyone didn't necessarily get it in time in my community for whatever reason, and that's just the reality of it, I needed 60% to get with it today. About 20 to 30% are and have gotten with it. So my school is predominantly white, things in my mind. I'm just going to be my real self. So I am a real man, hopefully, in front of the women at my school. And they understand hardship. They understand what a man is. And other communities may laugh at me, but I have to assume that just the doctors and the women, the musician is, on Phylum Cordata, that's like one of the most respected things you can do. And also the engineer is really smart. So I'm going back to basically let certain types of people let me have it. And there's a part of it, like maybe a certain type of person could tell you what you've done wrong. So this is just the mushy of what's going on. I'm going to this school, right? Not to say that this is a 99% predominantly white environment. I'm going to this reality really to just see women again, right? I'm in an environment in Naples, Florida where I haven't necessarily got to see. I'm gonna be kind of mushy. I loved every single woman at my school, bro. Like I didn't want to hurt them at all. I love it. So when I come back, it's like there's a double-edged sword. The accountability of you're a real man, and I'm gonna keep it real with you, bro. And the other one where it's like we believe in you to the point where we're going to give you that little alpha state. Now that I don't want to speak for them, but I'm saying like what you're saying can be done if you do the work, if you stick with it. It may not look pretty. You could do it, but you got to make a choice in how far you're willing to go and whether or not you're willing to look stupid for it. So by going to Ohio and Springfield and visiting, which I'm planning on doing professionally, not like I'm moving correct when I do this. I have the cash flow, money, loan, all that stuff, clothes, fit, healthy, all that stuff. When I visit here, obviously there's new people, but I'm going to show you the conversations that I'm going to have with them, right? There's a reality where they should have told me, Isaiah, like, we're sorry, right? Because we can see that all you had to do was wait another 10 years and we would have been able to talk to you about this. Like, whoa, hold on one second, right? My school is 99% white. I take pride that it's 99% white. It's like a rubbing the hands, like we're gonna have this discussion about hard work, but I take pride that this community was willing, at least at the time, to open their hearts up to black people so that we could potentially, other people like this, but a PhD isn't the same thing as a 99 opinion of women who have seen you that are white. So just genius code of what this means. I'm a white woman, the white woman in the United States of, not that they would say this, but when you talk about white and everything, this is a community that's like Carnegie, it's a nationally ranked school. We're white women that see the world the same way as you, right? What I'm looking for is them to say, why don't we tell you, right, what you should be doing with a white woman, or how you should be talking to them, or in time's sake, what you should be cautious of. And that's really why I'm going back, you know. So, because it's interesting. I'm sure it's the conversation that everyone's waiting for, rubbing their hands, right? But this is the white woman. Like, if you look at the whole phylum Chordata of the United States of America, right? The whole, like, nest, the bee's nest. Like, I think Carnegie Mellon in this school, right, have that aura. But this is your community, right? This is the white, successful, hardworking, feminine, feminism, right? This is the core foundation, the mother nature, right? So these are things that are just going in my mind, like, and I want you to see my emotional state is, there's a part of me that's like shaking my head, like, I just don't want to hear it. You know, I just don't want to hear it. And if they say I'm bad, no, I'm not. I mean, I had no other option than to come back. But no, a part of me wants to start over because, you know, I don't want people to have to say all these negative things because one community thought they were white but treated me like they've never been treated with respect in their lifetime. So, you know, but this is a community that's different. I'm very excited. There's a reason why there's a real reason why I'm excited, right? There's a real reason why I'm excited to actually talk with a white man and a white woman. There's a real reason. Anything else on this that you guys need to see? I just want you guys to hear my perspective and everything. And yeah, some people are fake. You guys are learning that fraud is real. It turns out the message that I want people to understand, and I want you to hear me say this, is I had an option to possibly go to the University of Chicago. I applied to Concordia University of Chicago because that was right. Without University of Chicago, it's the church. Luther, you can go to Springfield. You basically, you're a bigger church. Like, it was just so. It turns out if I would have just gone there and played football and majored in music, maybe the problems that I have now about some people saying that you weren't working hard, maybe that would have been, but I did kind of tell them when I was at Wittenberg, I had a music program, that is something that I could potentially do. I don't know if they're going to do anymore, but I already kind of did that at Wittenberg. But yeah, some of the issues like Carnegie Mellon, you don't necessarily have to work as hard. They might tell you to not even do music, go to Carnegie Mellon. They might tell you just to be humble. But you lose kind of that need to do kind of music, like to be artistic when you go to Carnegie Mellon. And then University of Chicago, like same thing. Some people might find it offensive to do music. It seems that these are things to be self-aware. Like, I'm already smart, right? I don't have to keep proving to people I'm smart all the time, right? But I see this like musical thing, like this is a dream, you know, at Wittenberg to do this stuff. I'm excited, and there are racist people, and I don't want to get like, I don't want to stir the pot, but they were predominantly very nice to Isaiah Curtis Pilkington on a real basis. And it made me feel guilty that there was a time where people had to die on the cross for equality. It made me look at life different. They don't have to die for me. So me is just coming as a man. I just want you guys to hear my voice. And I was like, oh, what's going on and everything. Like, I'm sure I'll go there, and I'm sure things will come together.